What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So today we're checking out a rugged smartphone from HOTWAV, the cyberx. There are two versions of this device, the cyberx, what I have here, and the cyberx Pro. This is a rugged smartphone, a beast of a smartphone, and I have been very impressed. I've been using this device for about 3 weeks now, and this has exceeded all of my expectations. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this device. We'll go over all the specs. I'll tell you the differences between the two devices. Again, the cyberx and the cyberx Pro, not very different. The price is not very different. And this, the cyberx, starts at $189. I will drop the links below, guys. Hit that like, drop a sub. But let's check out the cyberx from HOTWAV. Now the packaging on the HOTWAV cyberx, you can see the big X on the box for the cyberx. And we turn it over, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage on this device. You do get a little bit more RAM on the Pro version, but there is virtual RAM that you can turn on inside of the phone. I will show you that. I do have that turned on, and we'll take a look at that. So you can expand the RAM, and out of the box, 256 gigabytes of internal storage, but this has expandable storage up to 2 terabytes. Up to 2 terabytes of expandable storage on here. Now, the actual processor in here is the MediaTek 6789 octa-core processor, and I have been very impressed with how fluid and how smooth that processor is. The front camera on here is 16 megapixels and the rear is a 64 megapixels, and that's one of the differences. On the Pro version, the camera is a bit better. The display, huge display on here, 6.78 inch full HD 90 hertz display on here, and this is a very smooth and speedy device. I have had no issues with the speed, opening and closing apps, but we'll talk about that as we get into the performance of this device. Now there's also a 10,200 milliamp battery on this device, and it lasts for days and days and days. Every like 4 days I would have to charge it up. I've never even charged it to 100% because I don't need to, but it goes on for days. It is a very efficient phone. Look, we get the mid-range processor with a giant battery in it. This thing is going to go for days. 90 hertz refresh rate with a full HD 1080p display. So battery life on here, don't even worry about it. Now we also have Android 13 out of the box. So you're getting updates. You are going to run Android 13. So lots of bells and whistles. Now, the actual phone and what we get inside of the box, we do get a charging brick, but we can't use it here in the States, unfortunately. We do get a USB-C to USB-C. We do get a USB-C to USB-A, and then we get the dongle. This is a 3.5 input to a USB-C. So if you want to use wired headphones, you can plug that in to here and then plug the USB-C into your phone and go on about your day. We also get, the user's manual, some wet wipes, and a SIM ejector tool. Now the actual device here, again, a very big display on here, full HD, 6.78 inches, the cyberx and the cyberx Pro. This device is thick, it's heavy because of the giant battery in it, and I have no issues with this device. This is easily, and I mean easy, worth the price of $189. Now, we'll take a look at the phone really quick. Now, there's an extra display on the back of here. I'm gonna charge this up because I'm almost dead and out of juice, so the display is not on. I'm gonna charge it up. We'll come right back after I show you some of the phone. So we get the cameras. We'll talk about the cameras in a little bit. We do get that X on the back. You can see a little bit of glue here from the sticker that I peeled off during the unboxing. Now on the side here, we do have a fingerprint sensor. This does have a fingerprint sensor as well as face unlock, and the fingerprint sensor works very well, very fluid. The haptics on here are good, and we also get the power button, the volume up and down. Now on this side, we do have the SIM tray slot, again, expandable storage up to 2 terabytes. We also have a multi-function button. So you can go in and you can go into settings and you can program this button to do 2 things. You can use it as a short press and then a long press. And you can see I have it set up to 2 of my favorite apps, and I'll show you what they are. So if I just click on this button once, it will open up YouTube. And then if I hold that button down, it's going to open up Twitter, and it's fantastic. It works very well. I'm a big fan of this multi-function button. Now the rest of the specs on here, again, running Android 13. They're both running the MediaTek chip. They both have the LED back screen. They both have the same size battery. The CyberX, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and then the CyberX Pro, 12 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of storage. Again, expandable RAM on both. 16 megapixel front-facing camera on both. The CyberX has a 64 megapixel, an 8 megapixel, and a 0.3 megapixel camera, where the Pro version has a 108 megapixel rear-facing camera. Now, they both weigh the same. They're both 380 grams. They both have a 90 hertz refresh rate with a 6.7 8-inch Full HD display. They both have 33 watts of fast charging, and they both have that second display on the back that does give you some information about the date, the time, things like that. Now, this is also IP68 waterproof and IP69K dustproof, so feel free to, it's a rugged smartphone, so feel free to do what you want. And again, the battery life on here, literally 800 hours of standby time, 65 hours of music playing, 30 hours of video playing, and 35 to 40 hours of phone calls. And a 33 watt fast charge also is on here with the cool animation whenever it is charging. You're going to be able to charge this up to about 50% in 37 minutes, and about an hour and a half will get you all the way to 100%. Now again, the display, 6.78 Full HD Plus display, 2460 by 1080 resolution with a 20 by 5.9 aspect ratio with a 90 hertz refresh rate. The 6 nanometer octa-core from MediaTek, the Helio G99, is a very efficient chip. Now, one of the things I would do if I had this device, if you want to make it feel even snappier than it already is, go down all the way into settings to About Phone, scroll all the way down to build number. You're going to click on build number 7 times. That will open up your developer options. And then you want to find your developer options, which I believe are right here in system. So you're going to scroll down all the way, and be careful in here. Don't mess with anything unless you know what you were doing, but I am showing you what to do. You want to go in and you want to turn off your animations. This will make the phone, it's just going to feel much smoother. So out of the box, your animations are on like 1x. So I go in on every Android device and I just go in and I turn them completely off. And then there is no, so opening and closing apps, you see how fast that opens up? Literally right away, it will pop open instead of going to animation. So this is what I want to do on my devices. Just makes everything just feel so much more snappy right out of the box once you do that. Now the 90 hertz refresh rate on here, you can see how smooth that looks. This thing, opening, closing apps, doing whatever it is you wanted to do. I don't have any issues with this at all. This thing is smooth. It is fast. Check out my new podcast, by the way, Bourbon and Blunt, available on all audio platforms as well as on YouTube now, Bourbon and Blunts, and the perfect time to throw in a sponsor. Introducing the all-new Anker Powerhouse 767, power ready for anything. This monster will back up your home power. If there is ever an outage, it will also power up to 99.9% of your appliances. With smart temperature controls, incredible battery life, and industrial-made components that last 6 times longer than other comparable power stations. With an ultra-portable design, the 767 can give you that off-grid power that lots of people enjoy, with the ability to power any tool or appliance, or even your RV. You can also fully recharge this using solar power in 2.5 hours. The 767 also comes with a 5-year warranty and a 10-year lifespan. Check out the link below. Now also in settings, they have what is called back screen, and this is that back display right here. But you can go into the back screen style and you can change it up and give yourself different looks. Right now I have it on this clock theme, but you can go old school if you want. And when you have an incoming call, you will get a little bit of animation on that back screen. So very cool. You can also have it timeout. I have it always on. That's just how I want it. This is also where you go in and you set up your custom key. As I showed you earlier on in the video, I have it set on YouTube and Twitter for a long press and one press for YouTube. Of course, you can go and you can change that just by selecting whatever app you want to use. So I'm a big fan of a custom key. I wish more phones had that. Now, I talked about the memory expansion on here. As you can see here on this device, you get 6 gigabytes of expansion. I believe on the CyberX Pro, you're going to get 9 extra gigabytes of expansion. So 8 gigs out of the box plus another 6. We get 14 gigs of memory on a $189 device. So very cool. And you can see the system on here updated to Android 13. You know, this thing, I don't have any issues with this phone at this price point. This thing is a beast. The battery life on here lasts for days. It is fluid, it is sharp, and it does everything you need it to do. This multifunction button on the side, up to 2 terabytes of expandable storage on here. Let's talk about the cameras on here and what we can do inside of the camera. There are a ton of options in here. So video mode on here, you can see up to 2K in video, 1080p, 720, or 480p. So we do get 2K video on here, which I'm a big fan of. Now in the picture, again on this phone, a 64 megapixel camera. You do have a beauty mode on here. You can see 64 megapixels, you can click on that. And in more, you have more options. You can scan something. You do have a night mode. You do have HDR mode, a wide angle mode, a pro mode, and of course you can add some bokeh to it. So you do get some options, and the beauty mode does change it up a little bit. And then on the front, of course, the 16 megapixel front facing camera. It is 6:30 in the morning, guys, and I'm headed to work. I just wanted to do a quick front-facing video recording with the new phone, with the new cameras on here. Check it out. Check out the microphone quality. Let me know. I have the volume on the radio on slightly. See if you can hear it. You probably can. I do have the heat on too because it's a little chilly this morning. But, I mean, to me it looks good. Let me know what you guys think. And it does have like face tracking. It's like following my head. But let me know what you guys think of the quality of not only the cameras, but the audio. If you go into settings, there are some other things you can do. You can change your picture size from 16.9 to 18.9, 4:3, and whether it's 16 millimeter or 8 millimeter. Now we also have geotagging, capture mode, sound switch, a bunch of different options in here. Now you also can go up and pull out apps from the corner just by doing that. Just pull it out, slide it out, and you get some extra apps on here. So look, the cyberx, very impressed with this device. An all-around solid phone for the price. Bang for buck. This is what I like preach in a lot of videos. Bang for buck. Of course, you want the best of the best when you are paying for a product. And this, at 189 bucks, shoots way above that when it comes to value dollar for what we're getting. This price point of $189 for the cyberx, it's fantastic. It's a great phone, a great device. I'm gonna drop the links below, guys, so you can check them out. Hit that like, drop a sub, follow my new podcast. That's it, guys. Enjoy your night. Peace.